Thank you very much for the floor. Dear colleagues, I would like to share with you the experience of my region in a difficult situation which we are currently dealing with. The debate on the necessity of going beyond the GDP has been present in our discourse for quite some time, and it's not a secret that my region is one of the most vocal promoters of this initiative. It has been broadly supported also by the EU institutions, the OECD, and the United Nations. In my view, everybody agrees that the GDP is not the right tool to measure the level of development of states, regions, or cities. This has been clearly emphasized also by the Porto Social Summit Declaration, and in addition, the European Commission has invested a lot of energy and finance in developing the EU Social Progress Index as an alternative approach for measuring the development level. Based on the GDP, Bratislava has been ranked among the most developed EU regions for more than a decade, which has had serious consequences for our territory and for people in terms of very limited access to EU funds, resulting in deepening of the modernization gap of the region. Small villages of very rural nature are also part of my region, and they see it as a major injustice. I think in Europe there is no more visible example of discrepancies between the GDP on one hand and social and environmental performance on the other hand. Based on the EU Social Progress Index, my region is classified on the 181st place out of 272 regions. Currently, we are in the midst of difficult negotiations with the European Commission on the transfer and allocation of funds between the categories of regions, which is allowed by the Common Provisions Regulation. And we simply cannot accept the argument of the Commission that Bratislava is as rich as Vienna and that we must be able to deal with our problems on our own. I believe that it is our job as the Committee of the Regions to keep continuous dialogue with the Commission and to inform about the problems that bother our inhabitants. This dialogue is key, and I will always advocate for it so to avoid barriers and the lack of understanding between the regional and European level of governance. Dear colleagues, we must once and for all move from the GDP narrative and start focusing on what matters to the citizens. Although the GDP remains a main criterion for ESIF allocation, in our technical discussions we must look at the real situation on the ground. Unfortunately, Bratislava region is not as rich as Vienna, and unfortunately we are still dependent on the cohesion policy. The case of the Bratislava region proves that GDP level does not necessarily go hand in hand with the complex development of the territory. Our region is facing serious structural challenges that have negative impact not only on the lives of people but also on the lives of those who are beyond the borders of our region. The main motto of the Committee of Regions Initiative Cohesion Alliance is cohesion policy for every region. And I firmly believe that the regions within the European Union, such as mine, will have a fair share based on supporting analysis and the data, which demonstrate where the real need of the people is. Thank you very much for your attention.